The SEC Media Day schedule is set. And if you want to run that down, Caleb, I would love to hear it because we will be there broadcasting live.
Yes, the SEC Media Days schedule is set. On Monday, LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt are all going. So Brian Kelly, Lane Kiffin, Shane Beamer, Clark Lee. Tennessee's going on Tuesday.
Let me stop you for a second because I'm going to give you my takeaway on each day. What will be the story of the day? So throw those four at me on the Monday.
LSU's Brian Kelly, Ole Miss's Lane Kiffin, South Carolina's Shane Beamer, Vanderbilt's Clark Lee.
Okay, I believe the news of the day will be which coach gets which coach is outie. And I think that Lane Kiffin, we all know, wants the Florida or LSU job. Brian Kelly could be out as LSU's coach. Shane Beamer, with another great season, could elevate himself to get a better program. So could Clark Lee. So I think that is the mantra of that day. Which coach will not be with his team either by his choice or the school's choice in 2026?
I'm going a different route, interestingly enough. I believe that this entire day is about, and I think a lot of SEC Media Days this year is going to be about this, but it's about quarterbacks. Because LSU's returning Garrett Nussmeier, who we think is a really good quarterback. Ole Miss is starting Austin Simmons, and it sounds like they're very high on him. But Ole Miss has other options at quarterback too. I think it's, even though Jackson Dart's gone, people just believe that Lane Kiffin is a quarterback whisperer at this point. Shane Beamer may have the best quarterback in the SEC in Lenora Sellers. And Clark Lee, Diego Pavia made such a big deal about returning to Vanderbilt for a 17th year of eligibility. So I think it's a quarterback-driven first day.
I think you and I agree on Shedeur Sanders. We would take him over the Cam Akers.
Cam Ward.
Sorry. From Miami. I also think Jackson Dart's probably the best value quarterback. He could fall to third or fourth round potentially.
I mean, if I would love for my Titans to trade their number one pick for a bunch of other like picks and get Jackson Dart.
Yeah, and I'm going to echo what Smoky Mountain Red said. I'm the same way. I'm still waiting for Shane Beamer to collapse. I think that will happen. I think if he parlays this in another good year, potentially making the college football playoff, and now you might not have Tennessee be a factor without solid quarterback play, he could parlay that into a better job elsewhere. And besides, the longer you hang out at South Carolina, the more likely you are to get fired.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Even Steve Spurrier and Lou Holtz got run off, for goodness sake, and they have like a combined 5 million wins.
Well, Steve Spurrier was just annoyed. He was like, I don't need this criticism of what's going on in South Carolina. I'm sick of this. All right, so Tuesday, this is when Tennessee is going, guys, and tell me if you guys can spot the real storyline here. Auburn's Hugh Freeze, Georgia's Kirby Smart, Tennessee's Josh Heupel, and Texas's Steve Sarkisian take the podium Tuesday. I think it's quarterback driven again.
That's hot.
And NIL driven, right?
Yes, quarterback and NIL. So for those who don't know, think about this. Auburn, what did they do that was so high profile this offseason? They got Jackson Arnold out of Oklahoma. Georgia, what happened to them? They lost Carson Beck. Tennessee lost Nico Iamaleava. By the way, this schedule came out after the Nico news. So Tennessee lost Nico. Now Texas has Arch Manning coming. Has Arch Manning getting ready to start, but that's
Hold on there. It didn't come out. It was probably put together before the Nico news.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think this was because this is too perfect. Tennessee, Georgia, and Auburn on the same day.
Wait,
Georgia, Tennessee,
so I'm confused. Are you saying they manipulated it?
Yes, I'm saying they manipulated Tennessee and Georgia the same day for the news to be about the high-profile quarterbacks transferring out.
Okay, I think you may have said it backwards the first time. I agree with you. I think that they would shift things around just like the college basketball NCAA tournament committee would as well. So, yeah, I think that could happen over the weekend. Let's stir that in there. I'm a little surprised that Lane Kiffin and Tennessee don't go every single year, to be real honest with you.
I am too.
A lot of this is orchestrated. All right, go ahead, Caleb.
All right, Wednesday, Alabama's Kalen DeBoer, Florida's Billy Napier, Mississippi State's Jeff Levy, and Oklahoma's Brent Venables.
I would think the storyline is give me those four again.
Kalen DeBoer, Billy Napier, Jeff Levy, Brent Venables.
I don't really see a common storyline. I'm just going to be.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
3 hot seat coaches at blue blood programs for college football: Alabama, Florida, and Oklahoma.
Well, I think Kalen DeBoer's on the hot seat.
But no, but here's the thing. There's 3 coaches who have questions, who have generated questions about their ability to do the job. Will Kalen DeBoer be on the hot seat after this year? He went 9-3 at Alabama last year, their worst record since 2007 in the regular season. Billy Napier at Florida has been on the hot seat for like 4 years in a row. And Brent Venables, I think, might be on the hot seat now too, given how things worked out last year. So
That's hot.
yeah, I think it's quite coaches who people are questioning. How about that?
Okay, I can roll with that. And the final day is
the final day, and I got my storyline. You'll love this. Sam Pittman at Arkansas.
It's going to be the longest week of the world. 4 teams in 4 days. It used to be 2-4-4-2, but anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So Sam Pittman at Arkansas, Mark Stoops at Kentucky, Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri, Mike Elko at Texas A&M. I got my story, but you tell me yours first.
I got Elko, Pittman. Who was the other 2?
Stoops and Drinkwitz.
Stoops and Drinkwitz. I think it's who's the least dumb.
All right. You're on the right track. I'm
on the right track. Okay.
Well, no, because Mike Elko I think is smart. No, I'll say who it is. And Eli Drinkwitz is the oddball of the 4 of what I'm about to say, because Missouri doesn't fit with this of what I'm about to say. But who runs the most boring football program?
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Elko's probably the most innovative, and he's boring.
Yeah, he's a defensive guy.
Yeah, I guess Drinkwitz is probably the guy. He's an offensive guy, right?
Drinkwitz is the only non-boring one. But Stoops and Pittman and Elko are all defense, and they are that is like old school SEC football right there. That is 1980s Pat Dye, Johnny Majors, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, isn't it?
That is. That's the throwback day. Tennessee Junior just calls it the Goober Parade. I can go with that as well. Is that our final day for SEC Media Days?
That is our final day for SEC Media Days. I think the most exciting day is it's actually the first day. Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin. But Lane Kiffin's always going to make it the most exciting day, isn't he?
Yeah, he was sullen last year because his dad had just passed away, and it was pretty obvious, just like a couple of days before. But usually he's going to be the talk of the town. What do you think about him being on Theo Vaughn? Is that the most recruiting thing that Recruiter Lane has ever done? I can't think for a second that he's ever watched Theo Vaughn or knew who he was. Yet there it is. It dropped last night. If you haven't seen it, it's not great, but it's obvious he's trying to appeal to college prospects. Because do you remember when Theo Vaughn ran out on the field and dumped Gatorade on Josh Heupel? Do you remember that?
I don't remember Theo Vaughn doing
that. Oh, Lord. You haven't seen that? All right.
I do not.
Okay. We'll have to pull that. But he did. And I remember texting Cooper and Jacob, and I was like, did you see this guy named Theo Vaughn? And they're both like, Jacob had a picture with him, and Cooper's like, I love him. I think he's hilarious.